Hello everyone, my name is Danita Takamoto. I'm the Director of ISEP Direct Programs and I will be our moderator today. I want to welcome everyone to our first session of our Spring ISEP Live sessions. For those of you who do not know what our ISEP Live sessions are, they're short 25 to 30 minute online information sessions where you can get insider information about our summer and semester study abroad programs. They're aimed at students. Coordinators are certainly welcome to attend and ask questions as well. And for some of our programs, we will have past participants. Like today, we'll have a past participant speak about his experience in China. So before we start, I want to encourage you guys to ask questions. On the right side of your screen, you'll have a box where you can type in questions, and we will, or raise a hand, so to speak, and we will certainly address your question at the very end. Let me introduce you guys to our fellow presenters today. So with me today, we have Derek Bradley. As you can see there to the right, that's a picture of us. And the person to the left is Derek Bradley. He's our Regional Director for Asia Pacific. Derek will speak with us about our summer program in Canberra, Australia. Then we have Michael Yamoa, and Michael is our Program Associate for Africa and the Middle East. I'm also very pleased to say that Michael is a former ISEP student. He studied with us in Tsinghua, and he's going to share with us about his experience in China. And we then have Linda Stewart, and she's our Regional Director for Latin America, and she will be sharing with us more about our exciting programs in Spain and in Chile. And then to the very right there, that's me, Danita Takamoto. I will be our moderator for today. So moving forward, let me just share a bit about ISEP. Who is ISEP? For those of you who don't know, ISEP is a non-profit network of 340 universities worldwide. So we're a membership organization, so that means ISEP exists because of our universities who seek to connect with one another. So we're sort of a network. We connect universities. We're a connector. And I'm very pleased to say that we have over 45,000 alumni over the last 30 years. So ISEP has been around for a long, long time. Our programs are predominantly immersive. It's generally affordable, especially if you do exchange. Our ISEP Direct programs are also more affordable. And our programs are, I would say, very unique. Moving on, let me share very briefly just 4 summer program application tips. We highly recommend that if you're interested in studying abroad this summer or even next fall or next spring even, to talk to your ISEP coordinator on your campus. Who's your ISEP coordinator? Well, I would say go to your study abroad office and ask who is the ISEP coordinator to talk to. That's the first step. Secondly, we really encourage you to research all of our summer programs and see which of these programs pique your interest and which of these programs fit your academic needs. Then we want to ask you to check the ISEP program deadline, and we also want to ask you to verify with your study abroad office when is your internal university's program deadline so that you don't miss your university deadline and you don't miss our deadlines. Then lastly, we highly, highly recommend that you connect with ISEP alumni on social media. Please contact ISEP if you want to get in touch with any ISEP alumni or even our ISEP student ambassadors who are very active. All right, well, no, let's not hesitate anymore. I'm going to introduce Michael Yamoa, and he's going to share with us about his experience in Tsinghua. Michael, why don't you talk to us about your experience in China? Tell us when you studied abroad and what your experience was like.
Well, I studied abroad pretty much around summer of 2012, and one of two of my main motivations to which I actually that led me to engage in this particular summer service learning program was a combination of teaching and addressing poverty at the same time, that kind of bridge and APES combination. And so that's what drove me to apply for the summer service learning program to Tsinghua University in Beijing in 2012. Now, like most study abroad applicants, I arrived in Beijing. And the exciting thing was the fact that once you arrive, you have student representatives who actually come to the airport to pick you up, and then you have the first week and a half basically orientation, and that is what they take you through what to expect, and they train you on some of the likely things you are expected to experience. Now, for those of you who are interested in some sort of language proficiency, the first 2 weeks before the official program begins, there is sort of a $2,000 pre-session that allows students to be able to learn about Chinese culture as well as language. And also you have the opportunity to be able to travel to many of the amazing sites across Beijing and in the southern and northern part of Beijing. Now, right after the orientation, the first week of orientation, what happens is you are paired together with various teams. In fact, when I was there, we had over 20 different teams, and we were dispersed throughout various parts of China. And I was on a train ride from Beijing to the Hunan province. For almost like 24 hours I was on a train, and it was adventurous. I mean, you saw Chinese at the bare bones. You met the true people of China. And once we were also in the locality to which we were located, what happened was we met different leaders of the community to which we found ourselves in, and I was paired with actually 3-4 people with a couple of Chinese students, as well as a faculty from Tsinghua University, and it was amazing. I must confess, the food was great. I actually gained 9 pounds by the time I returned back from China. I remember we met the mayor of the city. There was also the party secretary. We also met heads of the different schools. On a typical day, we'll go out and teach students, but also we also visit students in their homes. Their parents would come to us. I had one of the artists in the town who actually gave me a present by drawing a portrait of me, which is amazing. I still have it today. We played basketball. I mean, I was a popular person in town. Everywhere I went, everyone would take a picture of me when I was there. It was great. The one thing you have to know about the Tsinghua program is if you want to take academic credit for it, it is very, very important, and I strongly actually encourage you to talk to your school about your intentions, because there's no credit that you can actually transfer back to your school. So if you want to gain academic credit for it, you have to talk to your academic advisors as well as your school coordinators. You will, however, get a certificate for participating in this program. Overall, I must confess that my experience was phenomenal. I mean, I got to visit so many places, eat a lot of different foods, and I must tell you, Hunan province is known for some of the spiciest kinds of food you can ever find. So if you want to be part of this program, I mean, get ready, because there's a lot of adventure out there for you to experience. It's very affordable too.
Thank you, Michael. And it looks like that's a picture of you. Do you want to tell us about when that picture was taken? Is this on the Great Wall?
Yes, we actually took a visit to the Great Wall, and we met I mean, some of the people you see over there actually are Chinese. It's just a few students and then a kid that we met actually on the Great Wall. And the father of the kid is actually the man standing on the left. He's going to take a picture, with us, and we thought it was amazing, and I think it was great to experience that. You see, I was sweating about it because we climbed a lot.
Wow. So guys, as you can see, the program is in July 2014. It's again, just to reiterate what Michael had just shared with us, it's a 3-week program, service learning. The program costs $900, and we encourage you to get your application into us by April 1st. Michael, thank you so much for sharing with us about your experience. And if you have any questions, stick around. We're going to have Michael with us for the very end of the presentation, and he can ask more questions. But guys, the really unique thing about this program is that you get to meet students from all over the United States, and you have students from Harvard, students from other universities, Michigan. So it's a very unique and diverse program. Moving right along, we're going to hear from Derek about our program in Canberra, Australia. Derek, go right ahead.
Sure. Thanks everyone for joining us. I'm here to talk about Canberra's new summer program. Brand new, never offered before. They just created this program. One of their faculty members from the communications department has put this 3-week program together. The picture you're seeing is a shot of Canberra, which is the center of government, the capital of Australia. So a lot of the government workers' offices are there, and that will be a part of the trip. So let's go into what is this summer program at Canberra. 3 weeks long. Your first week is spent in Sydney, visiting the different sites in Sydney. The point of this summer program is to give students experience and allow them to observe every dimension of the communications industry at the forefront of that industry. So in Sydney, you'll go to places like the Sydney Opera House and talk about the entertainment, arts and culture industry and what communications tools they use for their promotional campaigns, how they get their message out. Visit places like the Sydney Morning Herald and talk about the journalism field and how that field has changed and how social media has changed their job and what is the changing nature of journalism look like at a publication like the Sydney Morning Herald. Sports and entertainment marketing like the Aussie Football League and the cricket grounds, Australian rugby, and how they communicate their message and what are their challenges and what do they face, what are their strategies. The government tourism and events department for the New South Wales region, a chance to talk to their media agencies. All of these things are being designed for this program to give students an encounter with the communications industry from every angle. So that's the focusing first week in the city of Sydney. That's where students will fly into when they arrive, spend a week there. The next week they'll go to Canberra, which is the host university's home. That, as I mentioned, is the capital of Australia, so there'll be a governmental focus for that second week, visiting Parliament House and the press gallery journalists, and how does that political messaging, what are the unique challenges in that area. Visiting sites like the Australian War Memorial and several museums and galleries, and what does communications look like in that dimension of the industry. Finally, your last week spent in Brisbane and Gold Coast, exploring somewhat of the tourism industry with visits with Virgin Australia, Tourism Queensland, how do they get their message across, visiting several of beaches, going to the koala and wildlife sanctuaries and talking about environmental issues and how does that message get delivered, how does that impact the communications industry. Suncorp Stadium again with a sports and entertainment marketing event. So this kind of gives a glimpse at what Canberra is trying to put together in a very, very robust, incredibly busy 3-week experience where whether you're a communications major or you are just have an interest in the field of communications and you need to find out what is of most interest to you, you'll get to explore every dimension of that communications industry through this 3-week program. So the dates are June 22nd through July 13th. The program fee includes the majority of your costs. That's going to be all your tuition fees for 6 credits. If you're interested in more information about the type of coursework that you would be doing, feel free to check it out on our website. It includes all your transportation within Australia, traveling among those 3 different cities, all your housing, your hotels that you'll be staying at, the dormitories on campus at the university, your breakfast, your lunch, some of your dinners. There will be a few dinners while you'll be on your own. Field trips and cultural activities, all that will be included as well. The application deadline for this exciting new program is March 15th because they need to book your domestic airfare, so they need enough time. It's got a slightly earlier deadline than most of our summer programs, so please pay attention to that.
Wow, Derek, sign me up. This is Anita Takamoto. I just want to let you guys know that Derek just visited Australia last October, and I myself have visited Australia twice. I can't recommend this program highly enough. The picture you see there in the background is the Sydney Opera House. Of course, it's a very famous Sydney icon, and when you participate in our program, you actually will get to visit this very beautiful architectural icon. Derek, thank you so much for sharing this program with us. As you can see, our program it's a very good, competitively priced program. I'm going to switch next. Let's switch a bit of gears, and we're going to hear from our next program in Chile, Valparaiso. I'm going to introduce Linda Stewart. Linda is originally from Venezuela, and Linda has been with ISEP for a long, long time, and she's very familiar with our programs. Linda, why don't you share with us a little bit more about what students can study in Chile for the summer?
Thank you so much, Danita. And buenas tardes a todos. As you can see from this picture, this is the port of Valparaiso, and of course the mountains in the background. This is a spectacular city, as you can tell, by the combination of geographical locations. One of the things as you can see if you look closely, Most of the houses and dwellings go up from the seaport, right up through the mountains. All of these are very brightly colored houses, and that is one of the outstanding aspects of Valparaíso. We'll have another picture later on where you can see some of this colorful aspect. The Spanish language and Chilean culture program in Valparaíso is a 6-week program. One of the great benefits is that students at any language level can apply. From the next picture, and emphasizing what I said about the geographical differences within the country, the picture that you see at the top of the slide is the Atacama Desert. So now you see that there is not only beach, mountains, but also desert. Getting back to the program itself and the academic content, all students are required to take 2 courses. At the beginner and intermediate level, these courses will be a Spanish grammar and then a conversation and Chilean culture course. If you are at the advanced level, you do not have to take grammar or Chilean culture. You can also take contemporary Chilean literature and social-political Chilean history of the 20th and 21st centuries. Now, the title is in English, but all these courses are in Spanish. Going to the next slide, this is a picture of one of the houses in Valparaíso. Like I said before, they are very colorful and they're all painted in different colors. This is just one idea of the kind of dwellings that you will see on a daily basis in Valparaíso. One of the exciting things about going to Valpo is, of course, the program dates, June 15th to July 26th. Remember that the seasons are completely opposite from those in the United States. June 15th to July 26th will be their cooler season because summer, of course, takes place in December, January, and February when we are having our cold season. So you might even be able to get in a trip to ski at El Portillo, which is a very well-known resort in the Chilean mountains. What kind of credits can you expect to get? From this program, of course, you can expect to get about 8 U.S. credits. How much does it cost? $4,450. What does it include? Tuition, you're going to get your housing and meals, and you're going to live with a host family. One of the great things of living with a host family is you're going to have the opportunity of speaking Spanish 24/7. Not only that, but you're going to be able to transition into the culture with the help of your host family. You are going to have the opportunity to share with them all their meals and all their outings and their experiences with the family and, of course, the extended family. Families in Chile are very important, and it is the basis of the social structure. You'll be able to go to birthday parties, weddings, first communions. Also included, of course, is the airport pickup and drop-off. So don't worry. When you arrive, somebody's going to be there to meet you. You're not going to have to worry about how you get from the airport to your host family. You're also going to have the opportunity to go on 2 cultural excursions, 1 city tour, and of course, you're going to have the opportunity of traveling throughout Chile with other students. The next program I want to go into, of course, is completely different from South America because now we are heading to Spain. Almeria is in the southern part of Spain. And here you have a picture again. It's just coincidental that these 3 programs that I'm going to talk about are on the beach. but isn't that great? So the University of Almeria is a throne's throw away from the beach. And here you have a picture of one of the many beaches you can go to and that are easily accessible in Almeria. The program in Almeria is a 5-week program, and of course you're going to be studying Spanish language and Spanish culture. Once again, students at any language level can apply. For our next slide, the picture above is Almeria and the Alcazaba. That is a fortress. You're going to be able to visit it because the excursion is included in your packet. Now, what is the academic component of this program? You're going to have 2 mandatory courses, which are required, but you can also take 1 optional elective. Once again, you're going to have courses at the beginner, intermediate, and advanced level. The 2 mandatory courses are the Spanish language and the Spanish oral and written skills. But then you're going to be able to take elective course in literature, history and culture, society, and reality. As part of the packet, you're going to have academic excursions that include an overnight trip to La Alhambra in Granada. For those of you who aren't familiar with this is of course the place where let me see, I'm trying to think of how to say this in English, where the Arabs lived during their incursion into the southern part of Spain. Also, you're going to be able to visit the Cabo de Gata Natural Park. Like I said before, the Alcazaba, which is the fortress that you're seeing in the picture, the cathedral, which is beautiful, and the Civil War refuges. The next slide is going to show some of the activities that are included and that I had talked about before. You're going to have orientation. There's a group of students going on one of the tours included in the orientation. Also included are flamenco lessons, which you can see in the picture below. Now, when can you go? July 1st through July 31st. How many credits are you going to get? Probably about 6 U.S. credits. How much is your program going to cost? $4,150. What does it include? Like the previous program, it's tuition, housing and meals, again with a host family, which is a great advantage. Airport pickup and drop-off. You're going to have 5 academic excursions, movie nights, farewell dinner, and optional activities, and the possibility, of course, of traveling throughout Spain. Application deadline, May 15th. Please check your internal deadline at your own university. Then we're going to move on to the next program. Now, this program is in the northern part of Spain, in Vigo, and will take place at the University of Vigo. Once again, like I said before, it's right on the beach. Here you have a picture of one of the many beaches you are going to be able to go to. It's very warm in Spain at this time of the year, so you will have no problem being able to swim in these lovely waters. How long does the program last? It's about a 6-week program. Again, students of all levels can apply. The picture above is one of the most noted and important beaches in the world, which is the Islas Cíes. Students take 2 courses. The important thing about this course is that it has a teaching component. So this is the perfect course for those students who want to teach a language to speakers of other languages. What does it include? The Spanish language and introduction to teaching methodologies in English. You will be a teaching assistant at one of the local schools where you will be a classroom assistant, and you will basically give lessons on U.S. culture and, of course, the English language. Some of the student activities that you will be involved in are food workshop, a Galicia workshop where you'll be able to see traditions and culture, museum visits, Galician dance, a country hike, and of course a farewell dinner. I just wanted to show you this picture because it was so beautiful, and this is one of the optional excursions that you can take. And this is the Santiago, part of the Camino de Santiago Cathedral, and you can walk part of the way there, and it has an overnight stay. As you can see from these three programs, it has a Spanish language component and a culture and travel opportunity component. You will love them.
Thank you so much, Linda. That sounds very exciting. I just want to say that, yeah, all three of those programs are close, a stone throw away from the beach, but they certainly offer you a lot of access to meeting locals and meeting other students as well. I want to open up the floor just for questions. I want to mention to you guys that we have about 4 or 5 more minutes if you have any questions. The picture you see there in the background is just some information about our program in Vigo. The dates are June 16th to July 24th. You get 6 U.S. credits. That is 12 ECTS credits for all of our coordinators who are listening. That may be useful for you. The program fee is $5,400. And again, it includes very similar to our other 2 programs that Linda just mentioned. You get your tuition, housing and meals. Again, you're going to stay with a host family. ISEP is a big proponent of that where possible. You receive airport pickup and drop-off. That's an added bonus. You also get various academic visits and workshops and 1 city tour. So when can you apply? April 1st. As you can see with all of our programs, except for Australia, the deadline, you have about 6 weeks to 2 months. We encourage you to get your application into us very, very soon. The picture there on the right is actually of students making empanadas, and I'm not pronouncing it right, but that is something you will get to experience when you attend this program. Okay, let's open up the floor for some questions. So what is the name of the university in Chile?
The university in Valparaíso is Pontificia Universidad Católica de Valparaíso, also known as PUCV.
Thank you, Linda. I could certainly not do that pronunciation justice. Thank you so much. Let's see. When it comes to transferring credits, I would recommend that you talk, Sean, to your university. That's the best avenue for you. I can tell you that we don't experience challenges with transferring credits for our summer programs. We have a question from Pamela. Now, what is the academic visit at Vigo?
The academic visits, what those are all excursions with an academic component, which make up part of the credits that you are going to receive for that program.
Do we have any other questions from anyone? Okay, just a reminder, our Australia summer program deadline is March 15th. It's a very, very exciting program. If you have any questions about our Tsinghua program, our Australia program, or our programs in Spain or Chile, please get in touch with us. You can also certainly follow us on Twitter, visit us on Facebook, or check us out on Instagram. I highly, highly recommend you guys check out our blog as well. We have student ambassadors as well. I recommend that you get in touch with a student ambassador on your campus. If you don't have one, get in touch with us. We can put you in touch with one of our student ambassadors. I also want to let you guys know that we have a voucher. So for those students who attended today, we will follow up with you. We'll send you an email and we'll give you a $25 voucher. Now, what do you have to do with that voucher? You have to print it out and submit it with your application, and we will reduce your program fee or your application fee with that voucher. So we will, very shortly after this session, we will send you an email with the evaluation and with the $25 voucher. Guys, thank you so much. We're honored that you are interested in our programs. If you have any questions, please let us know afterwards. I also just want to, before we go, remind you, we have 3 more ISEP live sessions coming up next Wednesday. February 5th, we're going to have ISEP Live session on our 2 summer programs in the United Kingdom and our very exciting program in Italy, and that's going to be at 1 p.m. next Wednesday, February 5th, and our very last ISEP Live will be February 12th. We're then going to talk about internship and community engagement programs, semester programs in Italy, Belgium, Ghana, and Costa Rica. And again, those semester programs, that's going to be February 12th at 1 p.m. online. Again, we encourage you to let your friends know, let your students know that we can share more about our study abroad opportunity. Again, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for attending.